All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. And once again, I've got a couple of new sort of, well, not new to this channel, but new for this particular week. Couple of new European champions with me. You know, we gotta keep drumming the beat and then gotta be enjoying this. First of all, PYS, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. Yeah, really happy as you can probably tell. Yeah, it's amazing. Still hasn't really sunk in, to be honest. Like every time I see like the videos on the timeline, it just still feels like really raw. So, but yeah, it's amazing, and looking forward to talking with you and Conn today, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Brilliant, man. Now I completely understand what you mean. I was I was lucky enough to do a watch along on that particular game, and every now and then, even today, like I was just looking back and just checking out some of the moments. I don't think we'll get over it anytime soon. We'll be as we were saying it offline. We'll be milking it for a very long time. Conn, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. I am good vibes. Good vibes.
Brilliant. That's what I want to hear. Live chat, thank you so much for always joining. First of all, smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. It is road to 5,000 subscribers. I'm nearly there. So help us out by smashing the like button and then subscribing. Let's get straight into it. I'll go to you, Conn, first of all. This is meant to be a season review for Chelsea season that's just finished. But before we get into that, obviously the big news of Lukaku's interview that came in. So I did want to have a conversation with you boys and just get your thoughts on that before we go into the review. I'll start with you, Conn. With Lukaku so openly coming out, and I don't know whether it's a bit of a strategy or some sort of a smoke screen. For me, it doesn't. When I saw the tweet from Fabrizio Romano, I was like, okay, well, all right, he wants to stay. And then I was quickly trying to, focus my point on, well, we got to get Sancho now because Haaland is looking to stay. Kane, I don't know whether he's going to leave as well with Conte perhaps going to Spurs. But then as the day progressed, I was sort of thinking, Conn, that, well, this doesn't make sense. Why would Conte leave if Lukaku's staying? I mean, surely they could have, they could have managed a little bit around, and knowing that he's just won the Scudetto over there as well, he's going to play in the Champions League. It just didn't make enough sense. From your perspective, Conn, I mean, does it matter for you if we get Lukaku or not? Or do you think this was a smokescreen? What's your thoughts at the moment on this whole situation?
Yeah, so when I saw the Fabrizio tweet about what Lukaku said, I didn't really buy into it too much. I think it's way too early in the window to even be thinking about that. We've just won the Champions League. Not long ago, we secured top 4. So we didn't really know our budget anyway. So I doubt would have been in any advanced talks with anyone or even really contacting teams with players. So right now, I'm not really worried because it's a different story when a team comes. I want you to be the leading striker of our team. The champions of Europe want you to be that guy, Yeah. So of course he's going to say that. What's he going to say about Inzaghi coming when he's interviewed? Of course he's going to say something like that. He's not going to say, "Well, I'm happy he's here. I'm probably going to leave though, lads." Like, of course he's going to say, "Yeah, I want to stay." So we've seen players leave when they've said that before. So it's way too early to lose our heads over it. And I still would like Lukaku, because Timo Werner gave me 6 heart attacks this season, man. High blood pressure. I can't have that. We need a finisher. So.
But even in the Champions League, Timo Werner could have scored a brace in the first 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And I was getting worried that might come back and hurt us. Luckily, Kai Havertz and Mason Mount did a bit of madness, which was fantastic. PYS, from your perspective, I saw you sort of straight away say, well, we've got to break the bank for Haaland. What's your thoughts about the whole situation that happened yesterday night?
Yeah, I think, look, I mean, striker for me, I really, really want either Lukaku or Haaland. Those two just transform us, I think, massively. Yeah. But if none of them are possible, then like you said, I mean, going for a Sancho route and then using Kai as the 9 for a season won't be bad. I mean, Kai's overall game is really, really good. It's just, I don't know, man. I just think, I mean, if we don't get a striker this summer, we're just going to be looking next summer. I don't know why don't we just break the bank for someone? Dortmund want like 140, 150 million. Like, and people say to me, "Oh, Haaland's going to move anyway if we sign him in 2-3 years." Well, good luck trying to sign him off Marina if we ever get hold of him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But do you reckon Dortmund will lose 2 players in one window though? Like Sancho looks like they're ready to let him go. Like,
yeah,
surely not 2.
no, they will only let one go. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. Unless someone offers like 150 million, but then you've also got like agent fees as well. Like apparently it's 20 million to Haaland's dad, 20 million to Raiola, so it's near 200 million. It's like impossible.
Haaland's dad. What's Haaland's dad up to these days?
It's literally impossible. So you know what I mean. But I don't know if we can't get them, then yeah, going for the Sancho route is probably the best idea. But still, then I would worry: do we have enough goals in the attack? Like it's the same thing, isn't it? It's like we just need that big striker who's going to score 20 goals a season for me. But I'm not going to lie, like the options are pretty limited. Like it's either those two or bust for me, really, because there's obviously other strikers, but I don't want to settle for, you know, like we're champions of Europe now. We've got, I don't know, we should have enough juice to pull Lukaku, but if he's staying, then like, I don't really understand if he wants to stay, to be honest. Like, I get he's happy, but you just won the title. Like, what else do you have to do over there? It's a bit weird for me, but yeah, we'll see.
No, 100% understand, man. Con, I feel like just on the Lukaku matter, this is it. Like, if you ever want to make a return to Chelsea and live out the dream that you've sort of been flirting around for the past couple of months in social media with Didier Drogba and whatnot, this has got to be it. I mean, if it's not now, I can't see this boy ever coming back to Chelsea.
No, yeah, it's now or never, really. He's in the prime of his life. Chelsea need a striker, is meant to be, and that's why I'm still optimistic about it. You know, like players say things, of course they do. They've got to say things, you know. Yeah. And we know he still has a feeling for Chelsea. He said some bad stuff about us. He's celebrated against us. Like we know that, but that's just that love thing, you know. Like if I got sold by the club I loved, I'd be a bit salty about it. But I think it's a perfect opportunity for him to come back and be the guy he always wanted to be, man. I still remember that interview when he came to Stamford Bridge and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be here one day. And he's going to, I think he still will come, you know. I'm optimistic about it because, like I said, players say things and champions of Europe, Chelsea, with the squad we've got, with Tuchel, a serious manager, you know.
It's a dream come true. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a
and if Chelsea just go up to him and go, listen, Lukaku, bro, we want you as the ST. You're going to be the main guy. We've got Kai Fern who play off you like that Lautaro role. So you ain't going to be there all alone. It's not all going to be on you. We'll make sure the press protects you a bit more. We'll stand up for you. We won't let what happens at United happen to you here. I think he comes, man. I really do.
But we got to get you on our marketing team, bro. That's where you're going to be, Con, man. You'll be dreaming that beat.
Funny thing is, bro, that's what I do for a living, so.
Oh, wow. I had no idea you're in marketing, man. There you go, man. There you go. Declare, thank you so much, my man, for the super chat. Would you guys be content if we got Haaland but had to loan him back to Dortmund for a year? Don't lose 2 stars in a season and avoid buyout clause. I mean, if we can do that, for sure, like I'll do that any day because that would mean I'm set with the future star for next season. And I'll try my level best to do with Kai Havertz as a false 9 and try and play, Timo Werner and, Pulisic and all of those players that we have. So I don't know whether it's ideal because in the Premier League, you do need a striker that's going to be able to bang in 20 plus goals. But it sets us up for next season. I mean, I don't think this will ever happen. But PYS, you're definitely taking this deal if this is ever even an option, yeah?
Probably, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, but I'd still be a bit annoyed that we couldn't watch him. Like we'd have to wait another season. That'd be a bit, that'd be a bit of a annoyance, wouldn't it?
That actually would, man. And that would mean that once again in the Premier League, we're not really sure. It's a lot of uncertainty, and we don't want any uncertainty next season. Just another super chat, just quickly before we continue on. Lukaku cost over 100 million. We might as well break the bank for Haaland. Get Tchouaméni also. I don't think it will be 100 million. I think there was some rumors that it was about 65 or 69 million. So I don't really think it will be the 100 million. So, I mean, if it is 100 million, as you said, yeah, we might as well get Haaland or even Harry Kane for that matter. PYS, hypothetically though, just quickly, I know we've sort of mentioned that we have to get one of the top strikers, but if we don't, for argument's sake, because at the moment we're not sure, and we just have to take it by what Lukaku is saying that he wants to say, for argument's sake, right? If we don't get anyone, because we've already said that we don't want any secondary strikers, a lot of the fans are throwing names like Danny Ings, Iheanacho, Andre Silva from German Bundesliga, and I'm like, I don't want any of these guys. I don't want any of them, because I don't think any of these are actually better than Kai Havertz in the false nine. So if it's not better than Kai Havertz in the false nine, then I don't want any of them. It has to be the three top players, which is Harry Kane, Haaland, and Lukaku, or nothing. But if it is nothing, PYS, do you have enough confidence that maybe next season we will be banging in the goals? Like maybe now winning the Champions League, the lads can feel a little bit more relaxed, knowing that they do have the quality to mix with the top dogs out there. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if we don't get one of those two, like Lukaku, Haaland, and then you buy Sancho, if you want Havertz to succeed, I mean, he's very good in the box. So if you want him to succeed, then we need like a massive, like big creator who also scores. So I think Sancho would be the perfect buy. Plus, it would annoy United fans, so that would be brilliant as well. But as you said, those strikers you mentioned are strikers you buy when you finish fifth. You know what I mean? Like we're champions.
Bro, look at this one. Look at this one. No chance. Sorry, bro, but no. Like, it's got to be the top dogs, or you go for Sancho or a Grealish. You know what I mean? It's got to be. We've got to have that one major signing. I think that's what will happen. I think we'll have the one major signing, which will cost a lot, but then you'll also get like the DM, and then you'll get, I don't know, whatever else Tuchel wants. Maybe a wing back, maybe a CB.
Yeah, but for me, you just buy that one. Hopefully, the one big attacker, whoever it is, to really transform our attack, or at least make it a whole lot better. So, yeah, I think that's the plan. But you know what? It's going to be a long summer. I'll be interested to see what happens anyway. Like, I really, really wanted Kane, but obviously that's not going to happen because of the Spurs routes and stuff. Like, Kane's the dream, because I think we just win the league if we sign Kane. But
for sure.
Yeah, that one's not going to happen. So we have to put that one to bed. But yeah, I think if it's not those two strikers, then go and get me Sancho. And then I have more than enough belief that Kai can score a lot of goals. It's just the thing that worries me is if Kai gets injured, well, that means you have to play Werner up top. And it's like, Werner can only play against certain teams. Whereas if you buy a striker, like if you buy Lukaku gets injured, well, then you've got Havertz. So it's the best of both worlds. Whereas, for me, I don't have enough trust in Werner up top, like to come in and get and play the games if Kai got injured or something. So it's going to be an interesting one.
No, for sure. PYS, just to wrap up this section of it before we move into the season's review, it is true. I mean, at the end of the day, Kai Havertz is only 21. I mean, he'll be 22 next season, but it's a lot to sort of put a lot of pressure on a player so young to bang in 20 plus goals in the Premier League. And as PYS said, there could be the injury factor because he's young. His body is still developing. I'm pretty sure his body is still developing. Do you know what I mean? Do you go the Sancho route as well if we don't get the top dogs out there, or do you settle with maybe a secondary striker and then everyone sort of rotates? Which route do you take, or do you just keep it the way it is?
Sancho, I think you have to get the one marquee attacker, like whoever it is. I just want that one sort of like, because this is the thing with Sancho as well. He will score goals and he creates a lot, and we always moan about lack of creativity. Like, Mount creates chances, but like apart from that, like Ziyech never plays. Pulisic's not really a creator; he's more of a dribbler. Like, you know what I mean? It's we're still lacking that creator. So if we're going to play Kai up top, then you need someone that's going to be the dribbler like Sancho, but also create a lot of chances and find those openings. So yeah, I think it could all work well together. But still, Miz, I really want one of the two strikers. Like, that's my main objective. If not, then I'm happy to annoy United fans and start spreading Sancho, bro, to be honest.
No, for sure, for sure. By the way, that was actually a question for Con. I'm not sure if I said PYS. I'm sorry about that. But Con, man, what's your thoughts?
The Jadon Sancho thing's interesting.
Hmm.
It's because he's so similar in terms of profile to Hudson-Odoi, you know? I feel like people saying get Sancho are like, I don't rate Cho. It's as simple as that because they can't coexist in the same team. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Anyone who thinks that needs to get their head out their ass. No offense, guys, but it's just not going to happen. So if you want Sancho, say goodbye to Cho because that's the inevitable. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to play together. I promise you. They're too similar of a profile of a player to play together.
But is that a bad thing, Con? Is that a bad thing?
I don't know. Like Hudson-Odoi, I think all of us got a lot of love for him. I know Pius has. I know I do. Like it's always been a rocky journey with me with Cho, but I don't know, man. It's like Sancho. I'm not convinced. I don't know what it is about him. I'm just not convinced on Sancho, bro. I don't see him scoring more than 10 goals for us next season if he comes. I generally don't.
Are you worried because it's the Bundesliga factor? Like, I know a lot of people will say, well, Haaland's there, but Haaland's just a beast. He's not normal. Do you know what I mean? He's an exception. But is it the Bundesliga factor that sort of worries you that he's shining there and it may not be the same in the Premier League?
Yeah, there's that. There's one thing I really do like about Sancho, though, and it's something Hudson-Odoi is very good at as well, is them little passes in between spaces, you know, them little between the little gaps. And that's why I wouldn't really want him because I would want Hudson-Odoi to get that time, you know, because I think he could become a superstar of a player. I really do. And I feel like we're getting Sancho because he'll help with them low blocks. He'll find the spaces in between. He'll get a few more goals. And I think Hudson-Odoi can do that, man. I really do. I feel if we're going to get a winger, sort of, I don't know, playmaking winger, I think Jack Grealish is more the guy. Probably Cel Ziyech. Cel Ziyech. I love him as well.
No, come on, bro.
That's just my logic, though. Like, I love Ziyech. I really do. I think you know that more than anyone, but I don't think he's going to get much game time next season. And he's in the prime of his career. Get money for him while he still can. Reinvest that in Grealish. And then
he could get the time if we do switch to 4 at the back. Like that would allow for an extra attacker.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't see it, man. I like him. I think he could do well at Chelsea, but I just don't see him getting the game time. Especially if we don't get a striker and we get a Sancho or whatever, you know, it's just not going to happen. So I wouldn't want to sell Ziyech if it was me, but I think it makes a little bit of sense to reinvest that in Grealish, who he's just fantastic, isn't he? He can score, brilliant. He can create, he knows the league. I don't want Chelsea's marquee signing to be someone we're not 100% sure and who's going to make us 100% better. You know, that's why I'm a big fan of Lukaku, because he's already that player. Sancho, as good as he is, he's still learning his craft. He's not fully there yet, you know. Haaland's just a freak of nature, so we won't talk about him. And Harry Kane's obviously the same, you know. So that's what worries me, is dropping big money on Sancho with an already inexperienced front line of Havertz, Werner, Pully, Cho.
That's true. Yeah, it needs that experience, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does need that experience. And I know Jack Grealish isn't the oldest, but he's experienced, you know. So that'd be my thoughts on that.
No, fair play. We've got PYS saying that he would go the Sancho route because obviously he's a bit of a creator, can chip in with the goals as well. But then we've got Conn saying that, you know, what difference is it going to be with all the attacking players that we already have? Is Sancho really going to make an impact? It's honestly two very contrasting style of looking at things, and it's both are quite valid. At the end of the day, I think we're all screaming out for a striker. That's what we want. Anything besides that is just all, you know, plan Bs and Cs that we're trying to put together, which honestly we want to stay away from at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's enough about that side of things. Let's start the season review because there's a lot to talk about, and I want to hear the boys reminisce a little bit and also look at some hard times. I'll start with you, Conn. The season started with a bang. Whole heap of transfers. We were all getting gassed up about Timo Werner, Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell, the lot. It was just a madness. I mean, at that point, Conn, what was your feeling moving into the new season? Were you feeling that we got a good shout here, like to go deep. Our team looks very good. Frank Lampard had a decent first season as well, getting the top four in a transfer ban season. What was the mood for you moving into the new season? Were you optimistic, or were you thinking, I don't know if this is going to turn out that great? What was your thoughts?
Bro, I was on top of the world before the season started. I ain't gonna lie. Like, after years of signing like your Sapacostas, your Bakayoko's, your Moratas, the Higuain loans, etc., like seeing us buy Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, Ben Chilwell, get Thiago Silva, I was like, oh my gosh, we're back and we're winning it all. And I didn't think like, oh, these guys are young, they need to adapt. It's, pandemic. Well, no.
You're thinking FIFA career mode. You're like, we're going to win this.
Fully, I was like, we got the good players. Like, that goes out the window. We're winning it all. Champions League, Premier League. Well, I was right with the Champions League, I guess. But I was on top of the world, miss. I really was. And I was like, if we could get top four of what we had, and we've just added this, we're winning everything. That's how I felt at the start of the season.
Nah, fair point, man. That's how I was feeling as well. PYS, as the season sort of started progressing, we didn't start that great. There were a bit of hiccups, but then we went through a bit of a run where we were winning quite a few matches. We were doing well in the Champions League, but then we kind of got knocked out from the League Cup as well. At that point, what was your thoughts? Like, did getting knocked out of the League Cup at such an early point against Spurs as well, did that kind of sort of bother you that we shouldn't get kicked out from this cup that quickly? I mean, what were you thinking during that time frame?
I mean, yeah, it was on penalties, so anything can happen on penalties, but still, like, Spurs, we should beat them in 90 minutes. So, yeah, but I don't know. Lampard era was just kind of up, down, like in the middle. It was just a bit annoying in the end, and then it got really, really bad. So, yeah, as Conn said at the start, I was on top of the world. Like, Lampard finished fourth with a really, really young squad, and then we had all these signings. So, I knew the defense wasn't the best. Like, Lampard's tactics obviously are not great, so I knew he was going to concede goals, but at least we had a better forwards now, and I was really excited by Werner. I thought he was going to be like the next big thing for us and scoring loads of goals, which didn't happen. And Havertz, obviously, Lampard ended up playing him as an 8, but almost like as a deep 8, so that didn't work. He put him in the wrong position when Kai needs to be in and around the box, not being the one carrying the ball forward. So yeah, I think Lampard got a lot of things wrong, but at the start I was definitely excited. Yeah, just as it went on, I could see that it was slowly deteriorating. Like, if you go back and look at the results, like, just not good enough. And I'm glad we did sack him, because as much as I love him, like, best decision ever, you know what I mean? Tuchel comes in, bang, win the Champions League.
Unbelievable.
Fourth, somehow. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I absolutely agreed, man. Like, we need to understand how blessed we are to have an owner that makes astute decisions. But just quickly as well, just on that whole Frank Lampard era, the way it sort of ended, Conn, I mean, deep down, I don't know, man. For some reason, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming that badly, the way it sort of ended with the team being so horrible. The way we were getting slapped around by some of the teams like Arsenal, City, Leicester, defensively clueless. And then at the end, it just all sort of fell apart. It looked like some of the players weren't even playing for him besides Mason Mount. I mean, surely, is that, did you see it sort of crumble for Frank that badly? Like, could you sort of picture that coming at all, or that was a bit of a shock for you?
The saying, isn't it? When it rains, it pours. And it really did pour on for Frank Lampard at Chelsea. And I think if you ask most Chelsea fans to really think with their head, did you ever really feel like Lampard would win us that Champions League or Premier League? I think most would say no. I think, let's be honest there. Yeah. And I didn't expect it to capitulate like that. I thought we would, I don't know, win a game, lose a game, draw a game, lose a game. Do you know what I mean? Instead of getting absolutely bodied by Leicester, scraping a draw against Villa. I know we lost with them last game of the season, but getting absolutely bodied by Man City. Look at the contrast between that City game and the 3 after as well,
Yeah.
So I didn't expect it to like capitulate like that. But yeah, like you said, Lampard I think he just lost it a little bit. I think the pressure got a bit too much for him, and that's the inexperience kicking in there. He doesn't have that experience to fall back on when players are kicking up a fuss. Like, he doesn't really know what to do. He hasn't been at a club with egos before. You know, he was at Derby County.
Yeah.
Them players don't have egos. They look up to him as a god because he's Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Here, they're Chelsea players. They want to win things. They're on hundreds of thousands a week. They got egos, you know, and controlling that is hard. You know, I can barely control my friends sometimes when they win like 50 quid in the lottery or something, you know? So yeah, I felt bad from how it ended. I didn't think it'd end like that. I thought it'd end a bit smoother, but like I said, when it rains, it pours.
100%, man. When it absolutely rains, it pours. I do want to just quickly ask both of you boys. I mean, I do want to reminisce some good points. What was probably one of your favorite from both of you guys? I'll go to you, PYS, first. What was one of the most favorite performance under Frank Lampard this season? For me, I remember the Crystal Palace game, the first one this season, where I think we might have won 4-1 or 4-0, something like that. Might have been 4-1, where I think Ben Chilwell scored, Jorginho scored, and a few other guys. I think might have been Kai Havertz, maybe not. Someone else scored. But for me, that was a really good performance. And I thought at that point that maybe Frank Lampard's onto something here, but obviously it didn't turn out that way. But POS, what was your favorite performance under Frank Lampard, before he got sacked, obviously?
Yeah, I think that's the standout one you mentioned from this season. I think just how well we looked overall. In terms of like the two seasons, I'll probably say the Spurs away one.
Yeah,
that was a really, really good day. Like, I remember that. I remember being gassed that day because
that was the one where Willian scored 2, right?
Yeah. It was just like, it was away. You know, it was just good vibes. I remember that game. But yeah, this season there wasn't too many, but probably the Palace one, I'd say, just because the goals we scored were nice. Chilwell scored. Pretty sure it was like, was it his debut? I think it might have actually been.
It was his debut. It was his debut, I think.
It was his debut, so that was nice. Yeah. Trying to think of any others. I'm not sure.
Some are saying Leeds. That Leeds one was pretty good as well, but I think that's probably what started our run.
Yeah, I suppose that one had fans as well, so that was a bit better. But isn't that the one where Werner missed like the 1 yard, the 1 yard tackle?
yeah, the Leeds one.
Yeah, that one put a bit of a downer on that for me because that's all I saw on the timeline after the game. Yeah. So even though we won, that was crazy. But yeah,
no, for sure. Conn, what was one of your favorite matches under Frank Lampard?
For me, it's Ajax 4-4. What a game at the Bridge! You know, it had everything. Mad. It had everything, man. It had Suma thinking he was Pulisic, so I don't know. He was doing his thing. You had Chelsea coming back from a deficit. You had penalties. You had red cards. You had disallowed goals. The emotion. Reece James scoring. You know, I think it's Reece James, 19-year-old. I remember that. It's beautiful celebrating with the fans. That right there is like. I think this season, favorite game under Frank. I can't even remember, to be honest, bro. I can't even remember, to be honest.
Someone saying Newcastle 2-0. I remember, I think Hakim Ziyech scored. Yeah, Hakim Ziyech scored in that particular match. That was actually a pretty decent match as well. But not many great memories, Leeds? Man. Yeah, Leeds, the 3-1 when we came back from 1-0 down. That was a good victory. That really was actually a good victory. We were on a high at that time. We were actually in a bit of a run, moving into, I think, the Krasnodar. Straight after Leeds, we played Krasnodar, and that's when the draw happened, and then we started losing to Everton, to Wolves, and it just spiraled from there.
Miss, my heart, when we lose to that Everton team who played 4 centre-backs, and we just spam crossed it, man. That makes my head hot. And it's hot here right now, Miz. It's extremely hot. It's nearly 30 degrees. I don't want to be thinking of that Everton game, man. Don't do this to me.
I can't believe that, man. I don't know what was going on. And Everton didn't even want to play football. They just scored that early goal and they just sat back, try to hit us on the counter. But yeah, man, let's move on to some happier notes. Obviously, Conn, after that, I remember you and both PYS, you were both, on on the wagon of Thomas Tuchel to getting quick straight after the City, well, even after the Arsenal game. You boys have started talking about it, and then eventually enough, after the Leicester game, it happened. Con, as soon as Thomas Tuchel was announced, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I just thought, because I remember I had PYS on my channel, and we did a recording, and he absolutely laid down exactly what Thomas Tuchel does and whatnot. And I went back and did some research as well, and I was confident as soon as he came in that we are going to recover from, I think, 9th or 10th. Arsenal's just taken over us, and they had a poor season up until that time. I think 2 months of not winning a single game, and then they finally won against us, and they went in front of us. But I just had a feeling that with Thomas Tuchel coming in, that we were going to be fine, that we were going to be going back to top 4. I had no idea that we're going to be winning the Champions League. I don't think anyone would have ever sort of contemplated that. But I thought maybe a domestic cup as well. Con, I'll start with you, and then I'll go to PYS. When Thomas Tuchel was announced, what was your initial sort of thoughts that what we could achieve this season?
When Tuchel was announced, I was like, let's get serious again. Because under the Lampard era, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was a lot of... It was great. Don't get me wrong. It was a good time. We had a club legend at the club. Like, everybody loves Frank Lampard. If you're a Chelsea fan, you love Frank Lampard. It's just how things go, And it was a fun time, especially when fans were at stadiums. It was a really fun time. But I feel when we got Tuchel again, that's when it was like, okay, back to real business, None of this 3-year project sort of thing. Chelsea are not ready to compete. Because Tuchel's like that as a manager, And I remember getting dragged. I've said this multiple times. I got dragged horribly when I suggested Tuchel.
You did.
And and it's not even because I thought Lampard was horrible as a manager. It's just because, just like Kai Havertz, bro, when a manager of that class comes available and you've got someone like Frank Lampard, if you give him time, maybe we take an L this season and next season might be better. But if you get this Tuchel guy in, you're going to be instantly better than what you were. And yeah, we did. I love him, man. At the time, I thought he was one of the best managers in the world. Now I think he's the best manager in the world. So when that initial reaction happened, it was like a Kai Havertz signing for me, if I'm being honest.
By the way, do you still have that tweet?
Yes.
That tweet?
Yes.
But you need to retweet that. You need to retweet that. I'm going to retweet it as well, man, because you got so much hatred off the back of that, man. Oh, my God. Everyone needs to go back to that tweet and really just put a love heart there. Do you know what I mean? Like, and apologize as well at the same time, because you were one of the, along with PYS, you guys were one of the very first ones pushing for this particular move. And eventually enough, obviously, it happened. PYS, what was your thoughts, man, when this materialized? We were, I think, 9th or 10th in the table. I mean, were you thinking we have enough time to get back into top 4? I mean, I think everyone at that point was only thinking about top 4 PYS because the season, half of the season was already gone, and we can't really think too much ahead, and we didn't know what was going to happen with Champions League and how the form is going to change for the team. What were your thoughts when Tuchel took over?
Yeah, I was hoping we could get top 4, but I never saw it as realistic just because I saw how bad they were under Lampard. I was like, is Tuchel going to have enough time to, even though he's such a good manager, is he going to have enough time to implement a plan, like get the players playing? Like, I just didn't know. There was a lot of doubts, and I think there was a lot of negativity at the time just based off what Lampard, what Lampard ended like. So, and as well, like, to be honest, Miz, I did a lot of research on Tuchel, but I didn't expect him to switch to 3 at the back. I can't lie. Like, I thought he was going to try and go 4 at the back, try and attack, like, because I know Tuchel likes to implement his game plan on the players quickly. So I thought he would straight away go to a 4 at the back and just continue like that. But I also knew that Tuchel does like to adapt to the group he's got because it's just the way he is. He's very, versatile. He'll adapt to the players' needs, and I think a lot of the players are used to 3 at the back. Like, so I think that helped. And then obviously we went on this every game really. We hardly concede. It's just mental, isn't it? Like,
and we were unbeaten. PYS, we were unbeaten for a little while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's just crazy. Like, we had a couple of draws, but most of the time we just wasn't conceding. We was winning games like 1-2-0, and it was just get those points in, like see what happens. And then obviously we got to the cup final, and I thought We beat Man City in the semis. I thought, yeah, that's the FA Cup wrapped up. And then I think on the day we underestimated Leicester and paid the price for it. And the fans did as well. Like me, I was convinced we was going to win that. And then I was like, oh, damn, we actually choked. It's because it's weird because we seem to be better against big teams. Like, honestly, Leicester in the Champions League final, that could have gone any way. But you know what I mean? But because it was Man City, like, I genuinely... It's weird that you can be more like think you could win more against Man City than Leicester, but that seems to be the way this team rolls. It's just kind of weird, isn't it? Like you'd think it'd be the other way around, but that's Chelsea. It's like, yeah, it's a bit crazy. Like Champions League as well. Like
so, it's like when you least expected PYS. That's when it happens.
Like we was beating Real Madrid, but like we had other results where he was like, so we beat Real Madrid, but you can't beat these. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean. Overall, Tuchel's been brilliant. I remember I was pushing Tuchel more on the streams and podcasts more than Twitter because I knew at that time I got so much slander and
you knew you were going to get abused the hell out of yourself.
I was like, let me just run it on streams instead, and then I won't get slandered for actually having an opinion. But it was I just knew Lampard had to go, man. And then the candidates were. I think at the time we was talking a lot about Ralph Rangnick as well. I remember talking about him quite a bit. And he was an interesting one. But obviously, I think the Athletic said we actually approached him, but he wanted to be more involved in the board things as well. And I mean,
long-term as well.
Yeah, Marina's just, if you want to get involved in the board, Marina will just kick you out like she wants to be the boss. So that wasn't happening. And then obviously... Nagelsmann wasn't really like an option. He didn't want to leave mid-season, and obviously he's really young as well, so that's a risk. And now he's at Bayern, so let's see how he does. And then Tuchel came along, and Tuchel said he was hesitant at the start because he was like, "Why are they offering me, blah blah blah?"
18 months.
He said, "What's the difference? Let's go for the challenge," and I love that. And honestly, my favorite manager since Ancelotti for me is Tuchel. Just the charisma. And everything he brings, like, honestly, like, the most charismatic manager we've had since Mourinho. Like, people say Conte in the first season, yes, but in the second season, he gave up on the club. And I hate when people do that. Like, Conte is the guy, like, if you don't give him what he wants, he don't give two, Fs. Like, and that's not what I like. Like, I know you want stuff, but still, you can't sulk about it and give up. And that's what Conte did on the second season. So I didn't like that and ended up disliking Conte. So, for me, Tuchel's like the perfect guy. Like,
it's a complete package. Thomas Tuchel's a complete package. Do you know what I mean?
And he's saying that he's learned from PSG and stuff. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be a time where he's going to be annoyed, but with the board or something, like that's just going to happen. It's not going to be plain sailing forever. But I hope when that time comes that it kind of he's the one that kind of puts it to bed, and he does it. Because if you start a war with Mourinho, like it just doesn't end well. Like, you don't win at Chelsea, so you have to be, even if you think you're in the right as the manager, you have to be kind of, I don't know, you have to kind of take an L, even if you think like you're taking a dub, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard, but that's what you have to do to succeed here. That's why no manager has ever stayed really long term, is because, one, the expectations, but if you deliver the expectations and the manager always usually asks for a load of players or just something goes wrong. So I'm hoping this time that it just doesn't. Like, please let this be the time, because like I love the guy, man. Like I was like, I'm never going to get attached to a manager again, but I've got attached to him. So now
let's just face it, bro. I think we're all attached by now. I think it's finished. We're all attached.
Honestly, like, I saw a few people say on the timeline, like, yeah, we've won the Champions League, but Tuchel's gone in 18 months. Like, I can't think like that. You know what I mean? Like, I have to think that this is the guy. Like, I just beg. I'll do anything.
I beg too. I beg. Con, look, I mean, we will talk about the future endeavours and whatnot, but I do want to now sort of go back to the initial stages. We do need to talk about this man's mentality and how impressive he has been in press conferences, the way he's been transparent to the fans as well. I mean, Con, this man literally, I saw some footage when he did the interview with Rio Ferdinand. Apparently on the plane that he was coming to London in, he was already talking strategies with his entourage and whatnot. He was already mapping down who's going to play what in that Wolves game. He was drawing up the strategy and whatnot, and the three at the back, as PYS saying. And then obviously he lands and straight away goes into Cobham and the training ground and starts training. And then he has the epic first press conference, how he's from the get-go, Con, he just says that Chelsea Football Club should be winning. Like, we got the team. Like, this is, no, we can't be waiting for 3 years. We can't be waiting for 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, we win now. I mean, how impressive was all of that for you to see that? And then obviously the first match against Wolves, which we didn't win, probably could have snuck in a win. But the way we were playing in terms of our structure, our sort of philosophy from the back, the way we defended, the way we sort of had that ideology to go forward, it wasn't just spamming crosses. What was the feel at that time for you that, oh yeah, I think this is moving now? Is that how you felt?
When Tuchel came in, he's a smart guy, he's intelligent. He knows what to say. He carries himself extremely well. He came in, said all the right things to get fans on side. And believe me, he knows that who he's coming in after, He knows a club legend was just sacked. So he knows he has to really portray himself as this guy who wants to win, who can take the club forward. And so I was really impressed with how he did that. He's a smart man. Love how he talks. Against Wolves as well, I know people said it was a bore fest, etc., but the guy had barely any time, and you saw the difference. Like you said, the team structure is incredible. Yeah. It's incredible, and Tuchel is one of very few in today's modern football who is a real student of the game. He's always learning. Football's just 24/7 with him. He can play attacking, he can play defense, he can do anything, man. This guy will literally try anything. And yeah, them first couple of weeks at Chelsea, I was really impressed with. I think he really did a great job.
Nah, man, I have to agree, man. I mean, Conn, I want to now move into the whole Champions League saga that he created, right? He came in, Atletico Madrid, couple of banging performance, 2 legs against Atletico Madrid, absolutely annihilated them. At what point, Conn, did you start believing inside that, I think this guy is just about to, we may create history for the second time here? I mean, when did you, because a lot of people actually started saying after the way we sort of dismantled Atletico Madrid, and then the draw was Porto, a lot of people started thinking that we will go all the way to the final and we could possibly even do it. When did you start thinking that under Thomas Tuchel and this team, the way how disciplined we are in regards to off the ball, with the ball, and how well, I suppose, the players are playing, besides the fact that we weren't scoring enough, when did you start thinking that this can actually happen?
When Emerson scored that second goal against Atletico. That's when I really started to believe it, because it's how, we dismantled them. It was easy. Like, we made the best team in Spain look easy, Yeah. And from then, even before that draw, because I wanted Madrid. Like, people were saying, Paul, I wanted Madrid. I knew we'd beat Madrid. Like, there's loads of me getting cocky on Twitter about me knowing we'd beat Madrid because they're not that good. And we are. Like, I knew we'd boss the midfield, like Kroos, Modric, but they're guys with no legs. If you don't give them time on the ball, they're not doing anything. And that's what we did, easy. So, like, when I knew, like, Bayern, PSG, Man City were on the other side to us, that draw, you're just like, we're getting to the final here. And then if we get to the final, Chelsea can win the one-off game here. And that's so when we scored, Emerson put that beauty away in his first touch. I was like, you know what? I might be a madman, but I'm going to dream. And dream I did indeed.
We are still in a mad bubble at the moment. I love it, man. We need to be like that. PYS, obviously we had that really good run in the Champions League. But on the other side, in the Premier League, there were some ups and downs, which kind of sort of bothered some parts of the fan base as well. At times, we kind of got frustrated too. Some of the draws that we were copying, I think, against Southampton, against Leeds, and a few other teams as well in between. And then the odd, as we've already said, PYS, it's when you don't expect, like, we got the win against Liverpool, and we got some other really good wins as well. I think against Everton as well was a very good win. But were you sort of getting a bit concerned in the middle where everything looks good, but we're not being clinical up front. We're not banging in the goals. We're not finishing the chances. Was that kind of sort of bothering you that this could be a bit of a difference maker for us in the Premier League in terms of getting the top four?
To be honest, yeah. I was like worried that the players were the attackers really, because the midfield and defense was always quite good, but yeah, it was mainly the attackers that I was like, oh, are we going to score enough goals to get the top four? And I mean, in the end, well, really, we didn't. In the end,
We didn't.
We didn't.
It was Spurs.
On the result, but that is like a Chelsea thing. You get top four on Spurs, like, you know what I mean? After being ninth, like that is just, yeah. But next season, the attackers have to fix up. Like, I like Werner's character, but next season, man, boy, the pressure's going to be on him. Like, you've had a season to settle in.
He can't miss like this.
You can't.
He can't miss like this.
You can't be missing. Like, even Champions League final, yeah, I love the scenes afterwards, man. If we lost that game, I'd be coming for Werner's head. Like, the two chances he missed, the ball that was cut back to him, like, can you imagine a clinical striker there? Like, he completely miskicked the ball.
Absolutely slaps it in the back of the net.
The second one was even easier. Like, he had a touch and he had the whole goal to aim at. He put it in the keeper's hands. I was like, what is this guy doing? But yeah, mainly Werner for me just needs to fix up. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to keep the place though, because he does offer a lot of things like stretches teams and assists and runs and stuff. But just the finishing, if he can start finishing, then yeah, like, it'll be great. It's just they just have to score more goals, and it's like, if we keep the three at the back, people are like, oh, three at the back. We create enough chances. It's not a typical three at the back. It's like it's an attacking three at the back. The fullbacks get forward, and you know, we attack with five. So it's like we attack a lot, and it's just we have to finish the chances. It's simple as that. It's not a case of formations. You know, it would be no different in a four at the back. We'd still get the same amount of chances, maybe one or two more, but we'd still have the same attackers. So that's why we're so desperate for a striker or a creative / goal scoring winger to get the best out of Havertz, because Havertz is the good finisher. Like, the only time I've really seen him miss a big chance was Arsenal. Like, and even that one, I thought with the Arsenal when he ran from goal, I almost thought he had too much time. To be honest with you, I thought, you know, it was kind of like he was so far like through. I was kind of like, you're kind of waiting for him to shoot. It was that long, you know what I mean? It's kind of he almost had too much time. So yeah, just next season I beg we improve, because that was the difference maker this season. Everything else looked good, but the attackers, yeah, they didn't really finish their dinner a lot. Like, yeah.
They got to finish the dinner, man. They have to finish the dinner. Conn, one of the most impressive things for me under Thomas Tuchel was the way he utilized the squad, the fringe players, even the players that were playing. Mason Mount grew into a different monster under him as well. You know, Timo Werner, with all the misses, still, like, he still had a very high goal contribution. Kai Havertz, the false nine, the defense, Christensen, Rudiger, monster. Alonso as well, you know, getting that game time and chipping in here and there. Chilwell developing into a monster as well. I mean, in your wildest dream, Conn, did you believe that, wow, this squad really, really bought in on what Thomas Tuchel was saying? Whatever he was feeding them, they ate the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? So were you surprised, impressed? What were your thoughts about that?
Tuchel's just a great manager, first and foremost, and I think when a manager like that comes into a club, even at a club like Chelsea, you have to respect it. You know, the players have to respect him because he's a great manager. Like, season before, Champions League final, won 2 cups in France, incredible record at Dortmund. So you have to respect a manager like Tuchel, and yeah, he's, like I said, he knows how to like play people. You know, like, he knows how to get people to listen to him. Like I said, he's very well spoken. He carries himself well. He's very intelligent. So he's good with people anyway. So he can get the players fired up just like that, because just how he is. He's done it everywhere he's gone. And I think he encouraged more team unity And that's why we saw a lot of these fringe players playing, like the Alonsos, etc. Like the whole team as a one together. Like there's no superstars in this team. It's a team first and foremost, you know. And
do you reckon like he protected the players as well? Like I felt like Frank at the end of his tenure, he was throwing some of the players in the riding under the bus. Like I can recall, was it Timo Werner or someone? I can't remember exactly, but he was saying they got to finish this, they got to do that. They're not, you know, you got to be more intense. You got to be up for the challenge. Like, and there were certain players as well. I can't exactly remember who the players are at the moment, but he was moving mad right at the end of it. Whereas Tuchel, he seems like he likes to protect his players a lot more.
Yeah, bro. After the FA Cup loss, he took it on himself. After the Arsenal loss, he took it upon himself. You know, and it was like even Arsenal and Leicester. I don't think that's Tuchel's fault. I think if we had the better chances in those games, and we conceded a wonder goal and a horrible mistake. You know, and we had more chances in the game to win, so we just didn't finish. And he could have said, "Oh, we could have finished more," blah blah blah. But he was like, "No, this is on me," and that's why the players love him, because he protects them. Like, you know, he makes them feel appreciated. Even if you're Marcus Alonso, who's barely played this season, you know, you feel appreciated because you know you can get game time there. You know he's not gonna shout at you for 15 minutes at half time in the changing rooms. You know, like you know he's gonna be there. Like he wants this team just to be united, and I love that about him. I really do. People are saying like people like Alonso, etc., are playing because they want to get like the stocks up, basically. But I don't think that's true. I think that may play a part, but I think it's more about that unity. Because if everyone gets a game here or there, like everybody's happy, you know. And the French players tend to be the older ones, you know, like the Rüdigers, the Alonsos when Lampard was here, and they're the ones with the most influence because they're older, they're earning more money, you know. So yeah, Tuchel, just incredible guy. I want him to manage my life, man.
Want him to manage my life. I love this, man. I love the vibes that's going around here. PYS, moving into progressing more closer to the end of the season now. Obviously, euphoria. We've made it to the Champions League final. We've made it to the FA Cup final. I do want to now touch quickly on the FA Cup final. I think we were all a bit bummed out. That's another title that we should have got. And you know, it's definitely something that, you know, if we ever get into that situation again, we shouldn't, you know, we need to put our level best and win that trophy, because at the end of the day, that is still a prestigious trophy when it comes to domestic competition. And I know a lot of people, when Thomas Tuchel said post that and just before the Leicester game in the Premier League, he said that the objective was to get top four. It was never to get FA Cup. I mean, what was your reactions to all of that, PYS? I mean, in the context of things, it kind of makes sense, but I feel like our team is good enough to win both the fixtures. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to have priority over one or the other. How do you take that whole situation?
Sorry, bro, you cut out a little bit there. Can you repeat what you said?
So I was talking about how during the end of the season, where we played Leicester in the FA Cup and then Leicester again in the Premier League, and obviously we didn't have the right result for the FA Cup. But after that, Thomas Tuchel came out in the press conference saying that, you know, the priority was to get top four. It's always to, you know, win this particular match against Leicester in the Premier League. How do you take that? Because I feel like our squad is strong enough to compete in both fronts, and we shouldn't disregard a competition like FA Cup.
Yeah, no, like 100%. I was really, really angry when we lost the FA Cup. Like, I couldn't believe it, because just respect to Leicester, but Chelsea in a cup, like in a cup final, we had the fans back. Remember, this is the first time the players saw that many fans in so many months, and it looked like we didn't try. Like, genuinely, I don't know whether they was prioritising top four, or whether they just underestimated Leicester, which I think is what happened. And then they were like, "Oh, damn, it's actually going to be a hard game." I think they thought it was going to be easy. Like, yeah, players didn't turn up at all for that game. Like, yeah, it was shocking, really, really shocking. And then to see the contrast in the top four game where they was like, right, now we have to bounce back. I mean, we annihilated them. Leicester hardly, like, you know, they had the chance at the end and stuff, but they had chances. But overall, it was mainly us. Like, we dominated them. So to see us winning the Premier League actually annoyed me more, because I was like, why didn't we do that in the cup final? Like,
Yeah.
It's Chelsea Leicester. We can win both games. Like, it's a joke. It really was a joke. But now that we won the Champions League, I'm a bit more, I don't know, not more relaxed about the cup final, because still whenever I think about that, I'm like, Thomas Tuchel could have
Makes
had
you
the double.
angry.
You know what I mean? Thomas Tuchel could have had the double, taking over
Yeah.
like 5 months. Like, yeah. But
Nah,
it's
you
kind of, yeah, I kind of lay off it a little bit just because the Champions League's the biggest trophy. So, yeah, but still annoyed at that. Like, what was up with the players that day, man? It was really bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, I completely understand. You don't get that many opportunities to play in the finals, and when you do, you gotta take it. And FA Cup is a very prestigious final as well. I mean, I'm supremely happy with what we did in Champions League, but that final, that should have been won against Leicester. There's no way we should have allowed them to get that. Con, obviously, then we move into the Champions League. Massive underdogs. Many people were going for Man City and whatnot, and we end up winning the classic Chelsea way. When odds are against us, we get it, and it's just been an euphoria, and it's been a amazing feeling since that day, and even till now. And we've been saying it that it's going to be like this for a very, very long time, probably till the start of next season's Champions League, or even close to the end of next season's Champions League, until a new champion is announced, and who knows, maybe it might be us again. I mean, Con, looking at the whole situation now, basically the review of this season, the Frank Lampard time, how we went through the bad times, and then Tuchel came in, we recovered, got ourselves into the FA Cup final, Champions League, we won it as well, top 4. Very funnily, we ended up getting top 4. I mean, overall, how do you picture this season for us? Obviously, it has to be a massive success, but from your perspective, like, what would you rate it out of 10?
The season for me is a 10, easily a 10. We won the Champions League. Don't get me wrong. I was gutted about the FA Cup, but I'm no longer gutted about that. Like, in that 5 years' time, no one's going to care we won the FA Cup this season. You know, who's actually going to care? I ain't going to care. We won the Champions League, and we can just sing to City. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. Like, underdogs. And the thing is, what makes this CL so special, bro, is the fact that we made it look easy. Not once were we in a position we was going out.
Bro, like, 5 minutes. We were only behind 5 minutes the entire competition. Con, you there? Oh, we've lost Con.
Has he cut out?
Yeah, I think he might have just cut out.
Sorry,
but yeah, people. Oh, he's back. Yeah, Con, I was just saying that we were only behind 5 minutes in the whole competition.
It's crazy, isn't it? Is that the Porto game, I'm guessing?
No, Krasnodar.
Yeah. They scored.
And Porto was only like 1 minute.
Yeah, because 24th minute, Jorginho scored in 28th, I believe, in it. And then the 1 minute. It's crazy. We made it look so easy, miss. Like, under Tuchel as well, Atletico Madrid, La Liga leaders, easy, you know. Porto, like, for some reason, they thought we was an easy draw. Like, they got humbled playing your absolutely horrible football, Porto. Like, what is that style? I don't know. It's called kick you in the air and hope for a bicycle kick, FC. It was crap football, man. And then Real Madrid's, like, bodied. Oh, they've got injuries, this, that. Like, the thing is, the narrative for this Champions League has always been the other team hasn't been on it. Not Chelsea have been good.
Yeah.
The other team. It's so boring.
Even the final as well. Like, I saw your tweet, like, City bottled it. Well, how about Chelsea cleaned them up? How about that? Do you know what I mean?
See, the thing is with that, Miz, right? They can say they didn't have Rodri. We've beat City this season when they played Rodri. They didn't have Fernandinho. We've beat City when they played Fernandinho. We've beaten when they've played a striker. We've beaten when they haven't been a striker. Like, how many excuses are you going to give? We beat them with Marcos Alonso. He scored the winner. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many more excuses do they want? Pep went all out attack. They lost. They didn't score. They didn't score. That shows how good our defense is. Like,
they lost like 3 times. It's not like once is a fluke. Second time, maybe got lucky. You lost 3 times back to back.
3 times. Tuchel dumped on Pep's bald head 3 times, bro. And that final, the fact they couldn't score when they had so many attacks on the pitch is credit to us. Credit to Jorginho Nogolo. Credit to that back 3. Credit to Mendy, you know? And it drives me crazy, but at the same time, I really love it. Do you know why? Because when you hear stuff like this, you know we're back because we're hated. When people like us, we're not doing well. Like last season, people liked us because we won a threat. We got top 4, but we was nice. We played the academy. We had Mason out. We had Tammy. But this season, everybody hates us again. And why? Because we're champions of Europe.
That's right. That's right.
So that final, bro, like, this season's a 10 out of 10 for me. It has to be. The Champions League is the prize jewel, bro. It's the creme de la creme. You know,
100.
Love it. And you can tell every time I talk about Champions League, bro, I don't know what happens to me. It's like I'm drunk and I'm high in the essence of life. As soon as I'm just talking to someone about Champions League, I just get super excited. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. PYS, what would you rate the season, man, out of 10?
I mean, for winning the Champions League, you got to be a 10. But overall, I don't know, like, taking everything into account, maybe like I don't know. We finished top 4. It's hard to judge the overall season because obviously we had 2 managers. So
Yeah.
for me, like, I don't know.
Because let's be honest, the Premier League was we finished it with a whimper. Do you know what I mean? Like we had no gas left, and then FA Cup we bottled it as well.
Yeah, the season really was about the Champions League. Yeah, hard to rate, to be honest, miss. To be honest, yeah.
I personally would actually say I completely get Conn's, excitement and euphoria that it is a 10 out of 10. It is the creme de la creme. But if I'm actually judging the season, right, I would probably give it 8.5 to a 9, somewhere there, because in the Premier League there were times where we looked a little bit dodgy. Do you know what I mean? We should be winning against Arsenal. We should be winning against Aston Villa in the last day.
Miss, can I make a point to you quickly, bro?
Yeah, go on.
PSG, Manchester City, Arsenal, all teams without the Champions League trophy, bro. This is how hard this trophy is to win. No other team in London has it. I get what you're saying with the league. I get it. We finished 4th. That's nothing to cheer about, We're not Arsenal. Like, we don't cheer about getting 4th. But
we didn't even get 4th ourselves. That's the issue.
Thank you, Tottenham. But I think if you really put into context how hard the Champions League is to win, you're talking about some of the best teams in Europe who spend millions and millions. You're talking about a team that has Neymar and Mbappe, You're talking about a team that has Pep and the most expensive defense, midfield and attack in Europe, Like, you're talking about a competition so hard to win. It's incredibly hard to win. And I think that has to be a 10. Whenever you win the Champions League, even if you finish just above relegation, it has to be a 10.
Automatic 10.
It has to. It's the creme de la creme. It's the holy grail of, like, domestic football, Like, other than the World Cup, bro, that's the trophy every team wants to win, Every serious club needs that trophy. And
I'm pretty sure Man City would give away their league title for that.
They'll give away 3.
Yeah. For that Champions League title. I think they would. They 100% would give away. Especially, I mean, they've won quite a few under Pep Guardiola. I think they've won 3 now. So they would have given away this season's one to get that Champions League. So completely understand what you're saying, Conn, man. It makes sense that it is the ultimate prize. Do you know what I mean? And the way we got there as well, with the difficult season that we've had. And let's be honest as well, like, we're in a pandemic. The players, we had some injuries as well. All the other teams had injuries, but young team, it's just, man, look, completely understand why you're saying 10, because the ultimate goal is to win the Champions League. But if we consider everything else, that's why I was sort of coming from, maybe an 8.5 or maybe a 9, but it is what it is, man. Lastly, to finish things off, I'll go to UPYS. Next season, what's a good objective? What's a realistic objective for us, from your perspective?
Next season, I don't like to do this before the window's ended. To be honest, I say this to everyone. I know it's a bit of a downer, but I mean,
say you get. Let me make it a bit easier for you. Say you get your target. So you're Lukaku. Maybe a DM.
I think we could win the league, to be honest with you. I think we could win the league, but it depends. Again, if City signed Kane, we could sign anyone. I just think they win the league. I think it'd be close, but I think City would win it. But yeah, if we got say we got a big striker, we got a DM, we got, I don't know, whatever else Tuchel wanted. Maybe we got. There's been talk of like a depth, like right-sided option, like a right wing back, like Adama Traore or something like that.
Hakimi.
Like, Hakimi. Hakimi would cost quite a lot though, so I don't think that will happen. But I mean, if we strengthen the squad with 3 or 4 really good signings, no reason why we can't win the league or at least finish second. You know, we can win the cups, we can go far in the Champions League as well. I just think with the Champions League, it's all dependent on draw. Like, I don't know. I'm confident we can beat pretty much any team. This is the thing, though. Like, with the Champions League, we beat Real Madrid. We beat Atletico Madrid. We can beat Juventus. The two that worry me, again, it's City and Bayern. Those are the only two that I think could stop us. But with Bayern, we've got Tuchel. So it's like Tuchel can pull off these big game masterclasses. So without getting too excited, like, why can't we do it again? Like, there's no reason why we couldn't.
Honestly, there really isn't any reason why we can't do it again.
Next season, like, this is a thing I keep thinking about as well. Imagine Tuchel starts off next season with a 4 at the back, right? But then as the season develops, we go into a Champions League game. And then the manager, say we have City in the semi-final next season, Champions League. Tuchel has a 3-4-2-1, he has a 3-5-2, and he has a 4 at the back. So then you've got Pep already not even overthinking on his lineup; he's overthinking on what formation we're going to use. So it's like if we use another formation from 3 at the back, that increases our chances before the game anyway, because you never know what Tuchel's going to whip out. Like, but we'll see. Like, I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, Tuchel's going to get found out" and things like that. Well, Pep ain't found out this 3 at the back, has he? He's doing the meme that's going around Twitter where he's like, he's got the 2 central midfielders closing the DMs and the routes. I love that meme, man. That's brilliant. I keep spamming it, and it's like, but at the same time, they're so wide with the wing backs running behind. Like, that's being memed so much. It's hilarious. But
I've seen that, man. That's funny as hell.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was pretty shook when Pep did that, because I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's been going into detail." But then he's just overthought it. So yeah, but that's the funniest thing. It's going to be interesting next season to see what happens.
100%, man. Con, what's some of your realistic objectives for next season, considering that you do get the transfers that you want?
Being realistic, I'm on cloud 9, so it's gonna be really hard, miss. There's no team better in the league at beating the big guys than us under Tuchel. There's just not. Yeah. If we find a way to beat these smaller teams, these annoying teams, thank God West Brom.
Yeah, man.
They did my head in West Brom. But if we can get
even
the
Southamptons, Southamptons, they do our heads as well, man.
Yeah, Southampton as well. Yeah, their agenda actually reeks against us. How can they concede like how many to United and then always take points of us? I don't get it. So if we find a way to beat these small teams like United, just your Sheffields, Sheffield are not here anymore, you Southamptons, then we can win it, man. We can. I don't think City signing Kane's going to do much for them, to be honest. I think they're already so dominant. They get Kane, not really bothered by that too much. I still think we can beat them. We've done it 3 times.
That's actually a very good point, because they're so dominant. How much more difference can it make? They're just going to be more dominant. Like, they're already dominant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So you can't think of if they get City is over. Like, no, it's not, like, because we can improve, and we beat them this time like 3 times this season in like 7 weeks, man. So I think we can win the Premier League. I don't know if we can do the Champions League again, but I'd love to get Bayern and give them a humbling.
Bro, that's one game I want a rematch, man. I really do, because last season I felt vulnerable. I felt violated. I want a rematch against these guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Tuchel's a great manager, and like Nagelsmann, he's a bum. I'm gonna say how he is. He's a bum. I don't rate him at all. I like some of his philosophies, but I think he's a bit of a bum. I don't think he'll do that great at Bayern. And I'm really happy we didn't get him as well, but that's a story for another day. So I think realistic, top 2 Premier League, top 2, maybe top 3, another cup, whether that's Carabao, FA, good run in Champions League. I think that's realistic enough.
Yeah, no, man. I don't want to disrespect the domestic cups at all, man. I really want us to go out there and clean up. You know, Man City, they're very proud about the 4 back-to-back Carabao Cups that they've won. And then when you think about it, that is quite a bit of a feat. Like, that's 4 seasons in a row. So, I don't want us to take that lightly one bit. So definitely won that. Chelsea Perspective, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, born on the 29th of May, Chelsea won its second UCL trophy on the 29th of May with a goal scored by a player who wears the number 29 jersey. Wow. That's exactly what I tweeted the day before the Champions League because I had just got the Kai Havertz jersey. And, I tweeted that I've got a feeling that the whole 29 sequence was going to come through, and it did, which is fantastic. And we're going to relive that moment for a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps us up with the review of this season. As the lads, have given up the time and been so humble about all their opinions and whatnot. It's been a fantastic season. There's been ups and downs, but it ended up with such mega glory, which has made all the fan base so happy, so happy for a very long time. And it's going to be like this for a very long time as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, a couple of things. Please smash the like button if you've enjoyed this whole review. We talked about the striker situation as well in the beginning. So if you've missed out on that, please go back and check that out with Lukaku DEAL. How do you want to sort of take his recent interview? And yeah, if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And the other thing, please, the 2 lovely lads here, check out their socials in the description right now. Their Twitter handles right there. Go out there and follow them. We've got over 110 people. At one stage, we had 150. Please go out there and follow them ASAP. I think, Con, you're very close to 100,000, right?
Yeah, bro. I'm on 91, but I keep getting shadow banned, so it keeps halting the process.
Bro, you're going to get to 100,000 in no time. And PYS, what, 60, 70?
No, I'm on 53 at the moment, I think. So yeah.
Right. So 60,000.
I need to start a thread like Dubois, I think, and then
I'll
start crying.
Bro, Dubois, I don't know if you guys have seen it. The guy literally just tweets and there's 500 likes. They must just have him on, what do you call it? What's that word that I'm looking for? Notification. They must just have like his notifications on, right?
I'm guessing so, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. But yeah, PYS just accidentally probably just cut off. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. As I said, smash the like button. Help me out to get to 5,000 subscribers. Very, very close. So if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And yeah, do look out for the next video. It probably might be Friday, or PYS is back. Let's just bring him back. But yeah, PYS, I was just saying that, yeah, you're close to 60,000 and the whole Dubois thing, man. People must have him on notification. It's pretty insane. But yeah, you can definitely do a thread as well, PYS. You're good with the videos. You should probably think about a thread very soon.
Yeah, I mean, for the transfers coming up, I usually do like a lot of like comps and stuff, but I need to see more links and stuff so I can start making and editing stuff. So yeah, there's not. I mean, there's been links, but like, I mean, when the transfers start heating up, then the welcome comps always do really well. So
yeah.
We had like Havertz and things, but they get copyrighted a lot, so it's annoying trying to edit videos and stuff.
Yeah, that's the other factor, man. The copyrights thing. That's why I've stopped doing my threads. If you boys remember, I used to do my the GIF threads. But I've stopped, man, because that copyright just got me in too much trouble, and I was like, man, no, just can't be losing my account off the back of that. But yeah, guys, as I said, the next video will be the player ratings, the seasons, possibly tomorrow or day after. So do look out for that. And yeah, until next time, everyone, take care and have a good day. See you.